Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar called Boost Your Programmatic Skill Set with an Omnichannel Certification. I'm Margie Parker Lamparillo and I'm part of the 4A's Learning and Development team. A key priority at the 4A's is to provide best-in-class training with the industry's best partners to ensure we are providing you, our members, with the learning and tools which help everyone reach their full potential. And today is no exception. The Trade Desk has been a valued partner of the 4A's for many years, and we are excited that this partnership has evolved into offering our members exclusive training. The Trade Desk's industry leadership and expertise makes them the perfect partner to certify you and your teams in the latest approach to programmatic, and we appreciate them making their specialist certification program available to you at exclusive pricing. Now I'd like to introduce you to our session leads for today, Meredith Hall, the GM of Learning and Development at the Trade Desk, and Christina Yang, L&D Program Manager at Goodway Group. Welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for hosting. Before we begin, I just want to review a few logistics, housekeeping rather, to make sure that your learning experience is as great as possible. Just know that you can hear us, but we cannot hear you. So if you're having any problems viewing your screen or the presentation on your computer, it's more than likely a firewall issue on your end, and you may need to contact your IT person. If you need to contact us via email during this webinar for whatever reason, email us at webinar@aaaa.org. and we'll help you with any technical issues on our end. If you get disconnected during this broadcast at any time, just go back to the email and the link in there and log in again. At the end of the webinar, we'll have a few minutes for questions. However, we want this session to be as engaging as possible, so feel free to send us your questions as we go through the session itself. And to do that, you'll see a questions box in your go-to panel that's located towards the bottom of that panel. Just type it in and submit, and your questions will be received on our end. That's it for housekeeping. Now please join me and welcome Meredith Hall and Christina Yang. Ladies.
Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining today's webinar. My name is Meredith Hall, and I'm GM of Learning and Development at the Trade Desk. I primarily focus on our enterprise learning initiatives, helping agencies, brands, publishers, career changers, and students learn more about the evolving landscape of programmatic. With me today is Christine Yang, Learning and Development Program Manager for Goodway Group and longstanding partner of the Trading Academy.
Thank you for having me, Meredith and 4A's. It's great to be in front of you guys today. I am Christine Yang. I manage the Product and Capabilities Program within Learning and Development at Goodway Group, which includes the Trading Academy. And very honored to be here with you today and to share what Trading Academy has been for Goodway Group.
Thank you so much, Christine. Today we'll walk through an overview of who the Trading Academy is and the benefits to receiving the Omnichannel and Inventory Type Certificate. We're very honored to be partnering with the 4A's to provide you with an advanced training course while deepening your foundational knowledge of programmatic marketing. We'll cover the current landscape of emerging channels and private buying and how you can best leverage data and technology to reach your consumers. This program is suitable for account teams, media buyers and planners from agencies, or anyone new to programmatic advertising wishing to strengthen their foundation in omnichannel marketing. Industry experts from across our ecosystem will present insider tips and tricks, macro outlooks on trends, and case studies to demonstrate best practices for planning and managing omnichannel campaigns. Before we dive into the value of the Trading Academy and a demo of the platform, I thought I'd take a step back and take a moment to appreciate how far we have come as an industry. If you think about it, there's not many industries that have gone from $0 to $33 billion in a 10-year period. Programmatic today accounts for $33 billion, and according to eMarketer, that's nearly 4 out of every 5 U.S. digital display dollar transacting programmatically, with the majority of that going to private marketplaces and programmatic direct setups. Throughout this evolution, programmatic has also given rise to new channels and inventory sources, moving away from the traditional models to transact in a more automated way. The mobile landscape is quickly shifting, with almost 80% of all US mobile digital ads being bought programmatically. As we look to video, more than half of all US digital video ad dollars are traded via automation, and native, a newer category for programmatic, is also on the rise. It's incredible to think that we're all contributing to a period of radical change, or some may say that we're doing the most effective advertising in the history of the world. If we think back, advertising that has historically been effective was something like door-to-door, where you're doing true one-to-one advertising and you could easily customize the message. But you couldn't do that at scale. And the rest of advertising at the time was billboards, where you spray and pray, meaning you put up some sort of announcement and that's it. There's no targeting, there's no customization, and there's no attribution. But for the first time in history, we can be super precise, and we can be super precise at scale. At the Trade Desk, we like to think about programmatic in terms of innings. The average baseball game has 146 pitches on both sides, so 292 pitches in a baseball game. We personally believe that one of the biggest challenges that advertising has always had is that there has been no price discovery. And price discovery is just that economic concept of knowing what you are buying and selling. So what is the value of that McDonald's billboard? Historically, we've had no idea how to figure out the value it added compared to the rest of our advertising assets. But now, for the first time in advertising, we can. On the grand scheme of things, we are doing much more sophisticated advertising where we can actually answer the question, what is an ad worth? So how far into this are we? Well, we would argue that today there is an adequate price discovery on about 12 billion of the total 650 billion in global advertising. So if you run that math, we're in the middle of the second batter, or just over 2% done. So these are still the very, very early days. If you believe like we do, that all 650 billion will one day be transacted programmatically. So that's why we at the Trade Desk bring you a programmatic training and certification program known as the Trading Academy. Our mission statement is to provide end learners with an understanding of the value and possibilities of programmatic advertising. The theories and strategies we provide will illuminate the full potential of programmatic and nurture the industry's next pioneers and thought leaders. Many understand the how of programmatic, but few fully grasp the why. The Trading Academy exists to change that, and by filling the marketplace with better, more relevant ads, we aim to keep the advertising ecosystem healthy for years to come. We launched the Trading Academy in late 2013 as a solution to our own internal training obstacles, and simultaneously discovered that it also aimed to help those of our clients and their clients. The program, therefore, is designed to be an agnostic training program. While you'll hear from Jeff Green and other senior executives at the Trade Desk, you'll also hear from industry experts from across our ecosystem to provide additional points of view as we analyze the competitive landscape through theoretical knowledge and best practices. The program is a self-paced e-learning video course with sectional quizzes and a final exam, which upon completion provides programmatic certification. Once certified, you'll be able to share your success with others by accessing your printable certificate online and adding the certificate to your LinkedIn profile. The course itself is about 5 hours in length, and we generally recommend completing the curriculum over the first 30 days. Now let's dive into a demo of the training platform so you can view the curriculum firsthand. Upon enrolling with the 4As, you'll receive a unique registration link which will prompt you to complete your registration online. Then, once you are logged in, you can always bookmark the URL at the top of the page, which will take you back to the course at any time, which is AAAA tradingacademy.thetradedesk.com. To review the program at any time, you can click on the View Welcome course, which will provide you with an update and overview of the curriculum, including the requirements to complete the course and receive your certification, also instructions on how to share the certificate, and then also a list of our instructors. To navigate back to the home page, you just click the blue bar at the top of the page. Also, once you have finished the program and you've received your certification, you can just navigate up here to the top of your profile button, and this will actually take you to where you can view the certificate. Here you can actually print and view it, and you can also add it to your LinkedIn profile. Then to actually start the course, you can navigate to the Specialist Certification, Omnichannel and Inventory Types. And then here is where you'll actually just begin the course. With that, let's dive into the Specialist course so you can learn a little bit more about the curriculum itself. The Omnichannel Inventory Types course includes an exam that covers a deep understanding of the emerging channels and the evolution of private buying. You'll learn how to navigate deal and order types and how to transact smarter while navigating the future of media. The course begins with an overview of the video landscape, diving right into the use of video across screens and devices, analyzing the metrics and measurements that matter most. We then discuss advanced TV and how consumers are driving new behaviors in the way media is watched, forcing things to be more connected, which at end state will power addressability. In this course, you'll hear from industry experts as they discuss linear TV's problems and how programmatic will lead to personalization and the ability to target the individual household. Next up in the course is mobile, a game changer in the way the world operates, as it's expected by 2020 that more than 90% of the world will have access to a mobile phone. This course uncovers the complexity of mobile and the power that lies in its future. Dan Greenberg, CEO and founder of ShareThrough, then takes us through the native ad ecosystem with a short lecture and discussion on trends with Jeff, as well as an interactive workshop on writing impactful headlines, not titles. Next, we dive into programmatic audio and learn how music can be a powerful proxy for behavior. In this course, you'll hear from industry leader Spotify as they discuss the immersive ad experience and the impact this can have on brands today and in the future. The last course in our emerging channels section is programmatic email and how it's personalizing advertising through the power and the value of the @sign. In this course, you'll hear from industry leader LiveIntent as they discuss the intimacy and power of identity in this channel. We then move on to the private buying section, which begins with the emergence of header bidding. Andrew Casale, president and CEO of Index Exchange, whiteboards a brief tutorial on how it has removed ad tech from being the market operator and why its acceleration towards a unified auction has been making headlines. Then, to gain a deeper understanding for the mechanics of publisher-side monetization, Tim Sims, SVP of Inventory Partnerships at the Trade Desk, discusses the development of the publisher stack, or waterfall, and introduces a high-level overview for the importance for the power of decision. Lastly, explore the evolution of private buying through the examination of deal and order types. In this lesson, you'll sit down with industry leaders as they discuss how to transact smarter and navigate the guarantee versus spot market. And finally, the future of media requires reassurance and decisioning. But to get there, we have to operate in a unified auction where the spot and the forward market trade together. This course will introduce you to the concept of the forward market, the problem with 1.0 and 2.0, and predictions for the future of media. As you can see, we're very passionate about what we do, and it's through our passion to educate and develop our own talent that we have been successful in also powering and supporting that of the industry and also our clients. As we all know, it's not enough to just hire strong candidates. We also need to give existing employees opportunity to continue to grow and to learn. So before we hop into a Q&A, I've asked Christine to share her own story of working with the Trading Academy and how Goodway Group has leveraged the courses and content over the past few years to develop and grow their own employees. So with that, Christine, take it away.
Thanks again, Meredith. So our relationship with Trading Academy began exactly 2 years ago this month. A few Goodway department leaders were invited to preview Trading Academy, and not too long after that, we quickly decided that this was something we wanted to put in front of our whole company. We believed that anyone and everyone who works in any sector of digital media should see and hear this content. And it was particularly impactful to Goodway because one of our key differentiators as an organization is that our support to sales ratio is about 10-to-1, meaning we have on average 10 operations staff supporting each one of our sales staff. So at other similar companies, it can be the opposite. So because we're operations heavy, we have a deeply rooted culture of problem solving. We're very handy and agile with diving into issues and putting out fires. And while that doesn't sound terrible, but for those that are in the line of fire every day, it sometimes can become very easy to miss the forest for the trees. And Trading Academy gave us the opportunity to stop and slow down. Like, we literally drop in on what looks like The View, except it's our friends at the trade desk, and they're talking about programmatic media. It feels like you've just pulled up a chair to talk with friends over coffee. And here at Goodway, we have an all-remote workforce, so we thrive on flexible productivity. We had a lot of folks that were casting Trading Academy to their TVs and tablets, like video on demand, so that was pretty cool. But Trading Academy sparked a lot of great conversation in our organization. It generated new and fresh discourse on familiar industry topics. And most importantly, it helped to inspire some high-level strategic thinking for even those on the very front lines of campaign operations. So Trading Academy, was a great experience for our organization because it allows us to pause the frantic pace, and it provides the mental space to sit back, reflect, and really dig into the why of what we're in and what we do every day. So giving our folks the opportunity to ground themselves in that was the mark of success for us, and this is why we have spread Trading Academy to every corner of our organization. Every role in our organization passes through this content: our sales team, our campaign operations team, our media trading team, but also our marketing team, our research team, our data scientists, our production artists, accountants, everyone. So in the past 2 years, we have put over 400 employees through Trading Academy, and our COO, Jay Friedman, even appears, in some of the more recently recorded videos too. So we're very thankful to our friends at the Trade Desk for spearheading this remarkable education series. The programmatic industry is young and intricate, to say the least, and if we continually put our hearts and minds into the type of dialogue that Trading Academy inspires, then I think our industry is in good hands and we'll keep moving forward.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Absolutely.
So with that, I think we can jump into questions and any Q&A that has popped up.
Thank you, Christine and Meredith, for the case study, and Meredith for the overview of the specialist certification. Just a reminder to everybody, we're now in the Q&A portion of the session, and as I mentioned at the top of this webinar, please feel free to send in any questions you have. Just type them into the question box at the bottom of your go-to panel, and we will receive them here. I will start with a couple that we received while you were speaking, Meredith. The first one is, how often is the content updated?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we constantly add new content to our programs as the industry continues to evolve and grow, and we go back and also update older content as well. So I would say a couple of times a year we'll have some content pushes, which users will have access to, and we'll notify you if something has been updated.
Okay, great. And there's also a question about what the platform is that the training is delivered on.
Yeah, so we use a company called SkillJar to power our training platform, which is the program that I logged into to provide the demo. We have, the unique URL, which you can, bookmark to use and come back and complete your course and your training at any time, which is AAAA tradingacademy.thetradedesk.com. So 4A's tradingacademy.thetradedesk.com. And it's very, very easy to use. I'll also mention that, there's a mobile optimized web format that I actually have been using myself this past week, and it's extremely easy to launch the same experience on your mobile phone or your tablets. You just log into the exact same URL and use your login credentials to sign on. And from there, you can actually watch all of the video content and actually answer the quiz questions right there within your mobile phone. So very, very seamless and easy for the end learner.
Okay, great. Is there a time limit to complete the course?
There isn't. It's a self-paced program, so you will have access to go in on your own time and pick up from where you left off before. We generally recommend, since the course is only about 5 hours, to dedicate the first 30 days, first month. We understand that client deliverables pop up, schedules get really, really busy, so we didn't want to make it timed. But, I think for best knowledge retention, the courses do sort of build on themselves. So, it's great to kind of dedicate an hour or two a week to get through it.
Okay. And there's another question. It's around support. Is there a dedicated support or helpline for questions?
Absolutely. We have our own support alias, which is academy@thetradedesk.com, which upon enrollment, you'll receive all the information from our team for any support help. If you have questions as you're going through the course as well, our team is always here to answer those, to be a live support resource. And if there's any questions around the space or the trade desk as well, we can help funnel those through our team. But any questions can definitely come to academy@thetradedesk.com.
Okay. And does the certificate expire? Someone wants to know.
It doesn't. So we don't have a renew aspect to our certification. As we release new content, like I said, we'll notify you so you can continue learning with us throughout your journey as well. Stay up to date on any new events that are happening or new channels that are emerging within Programmatic. But no, your certificate will never expire, and so that'll be something that you can continue to use down the road.
Great. And it looks like there's one last question. I saw a reference to IAB. Is there any common credits towards the IAB certification as well?
Yeah, so our program does count as recertification credits towards the IAB. So if you are previously certified with any of their programs, I believe they require about 24 units, I think, a year to keep their certificates up to date. So you can absolutely take our course and apply. I believe it's five credits from the IAB for the specialist course to go towards those recertification credits.
Okay, great.
And that's global as well, in case there's anybody dialed on, across the IAB globally.
Right. And is this training specific to the trade desk?
It's not. So this is an agnostic training program. We really try to keep it at a high level. Like I mentioned, we bring in other industry experts to really round out the kind of thought leadership and the POVs. We won't be going into the trade desk. We really try to keep our name out of it, so this doesn't become a commercial for ourselves. We really are trying to create educational content to give our learners, our students, a well-rounded education so that they can figure out what's the right partner for them, have the tools in their toolkit to essentially answer those questions or bring them up in client pitches or conversations to really provide, narrative and perspective on the entire ecosystem.
Awesome. I think that's it. So Meredith and Christine, just a huge thank you to you both for being here today and walking us through this amazing certification program. It was a pleasure to have you. And to everyone on the line, if you have any further questions of the Trading Academy, please feel free to reach out to Meredith. Their contact information should be on the screen now. Or you can also email us at the 4As at webinar@aaa.org. Just a housekeeping reminder, everyone on the line and registered today will receive a copy of this webinar so that you have it for future references. So thank you all again so much, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thank you.